Okay, Tuka, so on average, how many players are you seeing a day?
We'd probably say about 11 or 12 out of 22, so we get through quite a few.
Okay, and the most common kind of complaints they've got?
Yeah, most of them now we're sort of just picking up lots of tightness as we're into, I think it's day 5 or day 6 of our tour, so just an accumulation of issues over the last few days of behaving like a professional team, I guess. So guys aren't quite used to not having their 40-hour week jobs and training 3 times a week, and training every day is a bit of an ask for some bodies, such as Mr. Pritchard here is on the table at the moment.
First time I've been in here, 7 days. Christ. Say someone like McGeorge or Hoggy, man. See you 3 times a day.
How's the body holding up, Rich?
Good, mate. Feel quite good, actually.
Must be good being able to come and see like, these professional dudes and get a decent rub and stuff.
Oh, it is. You know, after playing, I think it was 76 minutes the other day. A little bit tight, you know, a few more minutes than everyone else. Yeah. But no, body's holding up well. But to see these guys, it's good. You should ask Twiggy. He's going to give me a back crack later, but I think he's handed that job on to Lates. Yeah.
What, a back, sack and crack? Or?
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Like, these guys aren't full-time professionals, but do they look after themselves in a pretty professional way?
Yeah, we've probably got sort of out of 22 players, we've got sort of maybe 19 to 20 guys that look after themselves extremely well, and we've got a couple of outcasts that sort of just like to sort of roll with the punches and see how their bodies turn up the next day, and they seem to get through okay. Then we've got guys like Ivan and Manel who have been doing it for most of their lives, and Andreu who don't seem to struggle at all. They just know what they need and get through a session really well. They still enjoy celebration when we've played an extremely good game and they've got a good result, so I still think they've got the balance to life, but they understand that they've got to turn up in 2 days' time and do a job for the club.
How long does it take you to get ready to come on this sort of trip?
So I probably spent about 6 to 7 hours packing my bags, just making sure everything was in order and picking up a few bits and pieces. So we have a good relationship with some companies like Hawley's, for example. They throw us our replace powder to make sure the boys are full of electrolytes, and give us or supply us our protein bars for post-training snacks and bits and pieces. And then Coke come on board just before we came away and give us our Kiwi Blue still water for Tokyo, which was excellent. And that 16 crates of 12 bottles each, mate, was pretty heavy in the Corolla. Yeah, so it took us about 6 or 7 hours to get everything going before we got up here, so it was good.
And it must be good now for this part of the tour that you got a bit of extra help as well.
Yeah, so thankfully we can lean on the likes of Dr. Craig Panther and Leighton Wills, who got wonderful skill sets, and certainly was starting to get pretty tired myself towards the back end of the Tokyo part of the trip. So to have these 2 guys come in and A, help me out, and B, make sure the lads are getting all the help that they need and a certain sort of time frame is good.
Okay, Gordy, you've come on board as the media manager this year at Auckland City. Tell us a little bit about what your role involves, mate.
Well, it's a variety of different roles, really. Liaising with media, writing stories for the club website, trying to grow the social media aspect of the club's communication structure, so that's Twitter, Facebook, and that type of thing. And I suppose the brief was really to try and bring in as much media attention locally and internationally as I possibly could, and I think we've achieved that since the start of the season. You know, I was very determined in my own mind coming into the role that I would treat it like any other professional club or national team environment, and I think we've emulated that. You know, we've got huge traction in South America, Central America. You know, of course, Luis Corrales is had an interview with La Nacion, and you know, even Australian radio, ABC Radio Australia, the Spanish media, because of the Spanish-speaking players from Barcelona. You know, so it's been pretty big. So far locally, you know, we've managed to hit TVNZ, TV3, we've had coverage from The Crowd Goes Wild, and while it's, you know, from a purist point of view, it's not serious football journalism as you might see in the UK, I think that, you know, you have to grab for everything you can. You know, a lot of the things that are going on to FIFA.com, you know, there's millions, tens of millions of readers, you know, so you're getting that level of exposure that you don't get by maybe being on primetime news for 2 minutes back in New Zealand. So yeah, it'll be an interesting dynamic come Thursday night. Definitely. This phone will either be really quiet or it's going to be manic.
How does this compare to some of the different gigs you've done previously?
Oh, hugely comparable. You know, I was very proud to be approached, and I was delighted to become involved with the club. You know, I've always admired the club. Just let's get to this game. Let's play Kashiwa Racehall. Let's win the game, and then we'll busk the rest from there. How about that? So they go on my wall and they hang there, and then it just keeps me humble and focused on who I am, where I come from, and my heritage.